Did you guys see the results of Trump's physical? Did you see that? From Carolyn Levitt, as promised on Friday, Trump's annual physical examination results of Dear Leader. At Grok, does this seem credible for the President of the United States? I'm not saying it's fake, but it feels like a PR piece. Did this match the Trump you've seen on the campaign trail? Yeah, apparently the dude is fucking 6'3", 224 pounds. So he's an inch taller than me, but more or less the same weight. 62 beats per minute as a resting heart rate. So he's got the resting heart rate of a 25-year-old athlete. Perfect blood pressure, and his temperature exactly 98.6 degrees. I mean, that's crazy. Any physical abnormalities? Well, examination of the head, ears, and nose, throat revealed no significant abnormalities with the exception of scarring on the right ear from a gunshot wound. Oh, yeah. I see that all the time in the thousands and thousands of photos and videos that all of us are subjected to of him all the time. It's really visible. I've never seen anything that even remotely looked like a scar on that ear. Remember that Obama's 6'1"? Yeah, Trump is probably about 5'11", would be my guess. Obama's 6'1", he's about an inch taller than Trump, but I think Trump wears slightly padded shoes. Didn't his New York City, when he was arrested, and we got the perp photo of him, didn't they say he was like 5'10"? Or something like that? Yeah, he's shorter than Biden, and Biden's 6 foot tall. Yeah. No chance he isn't pushing 300 pounds. Oh yeah, of course. They're just lying. He did this in his first term. All politicians probably fib their height, to be fair. Maybe, but like not like this. This is insane. Are you kidding me? 6'3", 224? Come on. Like, just ridiculous. And his temperature is exactly 98.6. Come on. He did the same thing back during his first term. A comprehensive neurological examination revealed no abnormalities in his mental status, cranial nerves, motor and sensory functions, reflexes, gait, and balance. Meanwhile, you look at a video of him and he's constantly like swaying forward, and he has to brace himself with both hands on the podium when he speaks. Let's see. Cholesterol, optimal. Triglycerides, optimal. Good cholesterol, HDL, optimal. LDL, bad cholesterol, optimal. Everything optimal. He's healthier than anyone watching this right now, incredibly, despite being a 78-year-old fat ass with a diet of McDonald's. No flaw. He's physically perfect, essentially. He might be the healthiest man to have ever lived. Summary: Trump remains in excellent health, exhibiting robust cardiac, pulmonary, neurological, and general physical function. His active lifestyle continues to contribute significantly to his well-being. Trump's days include participation in multiple meetings, public appearances, press availability, and frequent victories in golf events. Dear Leader. Of course Dear Leader is in good shape, you know? Don't you think he'd get a lot of exercise constantly holding up the sun during the daytime? President Trump exhibits excellent cognitive and physical health and is fully fit to execute the duties of commander-in-chief and head of state. Tell me if I'm wrong, but golf doesn't seem at all physically demanding. Well, it's not basketball. Which Obama could play, by the way. It is. One funny thing though is that actually, probably because he played it his whole life. Trump reportedly was excellent at golf back when he was a bit younger. Now he probably cheats, but back when he was 50s, 60s, whatever, you know, a point in his life where you could still play golf quite well. He was supposed to be quite good. He probably cheated back then too. I can't speak to whether or not he cheated back then. I'm sure he did. I'm only saying that it was understood he was also quite good from impartial sources. Why wouldn't he be? He spent his whole damn life doing it. But now, obviously, he's like 80. So, did you look at the social history section? Lifelong abstinence from tobacco and alcohol? That's true. He's straight edge for alcohol. He's done like coke, obviously. But that is true. His brother was drank himself to death or something. His older brother, it's some like childhood thing, but like he genuinely does not touch the stuff. There's like no images of him ever drinking. How can he be himself without drinking? Listen, he's just like that. I read medical charts of living. This is so deeply insulting. There's no chart that's this good in the United States. Well, I guess like this mostly comes across as funny, I think, in light of the broader issue from today, which is a constitutional crisis that's maybe the worst in American history. Like that seems to that's the my like threshold for stuff to get angry at has already plateaued like really early, basically, with the first thing we talked about, which is the whole like it's actually over kind of thing, you know? And they misspelled scarring, it seems. I didn't catch that. Do you think he legitimately got tips on Putin and Kim Jong-un how to run a dictatorship? No, he got it from Viktor Orban. That's the nation that the Republican Party's been modeling their takeover after.
Very low IQ president. And by the way, I took my cognitive exam as part of my physical exam, and I got the highest mark, and one of the doctors said, "Sir, I've never seen anybody get that kind of, that was the highest mark." I hope you're happy with that, although they haven't been bugging me too much to take a cognitive, but I did do my physical and it was released. I hope.
I really want somebody to challenge him to draw a clock. An analog clock, a clock face with 12, 1, so on. The classic test. I do not think he could do it. I really, truly do not.
You're all happy with it. I notice there's no question, so probably you are. But the cognitive, they said to me, "Sir, would you like to take a cognitive test?" I said, "Did Biden take one?" "No." "Did anybody take one?" "No, not too many people took them." I said, what about Obama? Did he take one?" "No, he didn't take one either." I said, "Let me be the only one to take one." But I've actually taken them 3 times already. I like taking them because they're not too tough for me to take.
I do not think he could draw a clock. I don't think Biden could either, to be clear. Did you see Bannon insisting that Trump will run for a 3rd term? If he's alive then yeah, he probably will.
That committee was totally rigged, and I didn't mind going to prison.
I brought a copy tonight.
I can't watch this, unfortunately. I can't watch this. It's copyright for sure. But yeah, no, why the fuck does Bill Maher have Steve Bannon on anyway? I know Maher is a piece of shit faux centrist reactionary, but like isn't Stephen Miller, or sorry, not Stephen Miller, Steve Bannon a little far over on that? Is Bannon still influential? Oh, for sure, yeah. He's not as influential now as he was during Trump's first term, but he is undeniably one of the more intelligent and effective advocates for turning this into the Fourth Reich. Yeah.
Here it is, the Constitution. Can I read a passage to you? More than twice.
I'll get you to sign it backstage and underline term, and President Trump is going to be elected again on the afternoon of January 20th.
Hassan watched Bill Maher and didn't get in trouble, I'm pretty sure. Hassan streams on Twitch. I stream on YouTube. Twitch has DMCA strikes. YouTube has the Content ID registry.
Of 2029, he's going to be president of the United States.
Okay, but the thing I just read in there, it seemed like there was no wriggle room there. It seemed like it was do something about.
In federal courts, right now in federal courts, there's 120 lawsuits on what President Trump's doing for his Article 2 rights on the unified executive theory. But he's chief executive. He's interpretation of this. The interpretation of this is open for interpretation.
How should it be open? Could I have it back?
I like how Steve Bannon's argument here isn't even like, this is why Trump should be able to run for a 3rd term. It's, here's how he's going to do it. Like, Steve Bannon's language isn't really that different to the way somebody like I would talk about it. I would say, like, yeah, under unitary executive theory, he completely, like, ignores the courts. He would argue that there's an element of interpretation to this, and then he would just do it again. Like, Bannon's not even making the prescriptive case. He's just descriptively saying, like, yeah, that's how it is.